Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. Yes, you're seeing correctly, I got LASIK, so therefore I don't have to wear glasses anymore. So hooray for me. Let's get on with today's film here, folks. Dunkirk, written and directed by Christopher Nolan. I saw this in Alamo Drafthouse Theater, folks, so hooray for me as well. So this is essentially the retelling of the famous Allied evacuation north of France, or a tip of France, in 1940 here. They actually shot this at Dunkirk, although I think they may have shot it in the town of Dunkirk. I don't know if they actually necessarily shot at the beach of Dunkirk. So this film tells three interwoven stories throughout the film. The first story, which is set over the course of a week, is called The Mole. It has two French soldiers here who realized they've had enough, and they decided to jump over to the British lines here, and they tried to stow away on evacuation ships. And of course these ships are obviously being picked off by the air and by the sea of, enemy fire basically here. The second story takes place over the course of a day. That involves Mr. Dawson, played by Mark Rylance. He has one of these, again, they considering the fact that, the big ships are being picked off one by one. The British Army or Navy asks, could these smaller seafaring vessels pick up the soldiers here? He answers the call, and he happens to pick up a shell-shocked soldier played by Cillian Murphy here, who clearly doesn't want to go back to Dunkirk. The third story, which takes place over the course of an hour, is called The Air. This is from the perspective of two pilots, one of whom is played by Tom Hardy, as they try to protect civilian and military vessels that go to and from Dunkirk. There is a lot to love about this movie. One of which is that we are delved straight into the action. There is no getting to know you period. It's a group of maybe 12 soldiers that I guess all sort of look the same to me. One of whom happens to be Harry Styles from One Direction. But guess now, of course, some people who are more familiar with One Direction will say, "Hey, look, there's Harry Styles. We care about Harry Styles." I really don't care. I think one of the more interesting exchanges from this film is from when James D'Arcy, I think he's the army commander, and Kenneth Branagh, who's head of the Navy, and D'Arcy is asking Branagh, why aren't they bringing more ships to save these people here? And basically Branagh is like, oh, we need the ships for basically fighting in our battle. We don't need the ships to get picked off one by one. These people here are being picked off by the Air Force because Hitler thought, okay, I'm going to save my tanks here, and Göring is like, hooray, my Air Force can actually do something for once. And given really the fact that, yes, since Saving Private Ryan, although Saving Private Ryan still is in a class of its own really, particularly in that first opening act, this shows you that something that we're not really accustomed to. People around waiting for ships that might not actually come. The soldiers look upon, at one point, another soldier going into the sea, probably thinking to himself, okay, I'm going to commit suicide, because there's really, basically all these soldiers are doing is standing. And the fact is, the bombers are coming, and basically you don't want to be in the wrong place at the wrong time when a bomb falls on top of you, basically. Also, the aerial shots are really fascinating. I think the Tom Hardy character might be loosely based off someone. Everyone else is largely fictitious. I think the fact that this is the shortest of the Christopher Nolan films, because Christopher Nolan has been doing 2+ hour films for a while now, and this being his shortest film in a while, that makes it really great. It makes it really accessible. Here's the thing I would like to say first and foremost. I am not a Christopher Nolan fanboy. I know they think to themselves, okay, this is a Christopher Nolan film, we're going to get this great character development, we're going to get to know all these characters, and you don't. And a lot of people are going to be mad about that. They say to themselves, oh, look, it's Harry Styles, we should care about Harry Styles. It's like, no. Again, he shows some acting range, yes, but it's like, okay, there's an army musician trying to become an actor. Possible, with the exception of Insomnia, yes, Robin Williams as the bad guy is awesome. Otherwise, that film really doesn't work for me. And also the final 20 minutes of Interstellar that goes really wacky. Otherwise, Interstellar is good. Generally, I like all of Christopher Nolan's stuff. I actually happen to like The Prestige. You know, a lot of people don't like that film. Maybe if there's ultimately a complaint here, is that, why is this being released in July? Why is this being released in October or November for awards consideration? I can say to myself, the only thing that's coming out in the next few weeks that people might be interested in is maybe The Troy or Dark Tower, but it's there's nothing in there next few weeks, so maybe that's the reason why they put it here. Wouldn't it be amazing if Dunkirk actually pretty much dominated the rest of the summer? That would be nice, and every other movie could bomb spectacularly. That won't happen. Also, again, the fact that I'm a history major, I'm fascinated by history in general. I know there are some people who are more World War II buffs that might be interested in this film. But in the end, folks, Dunkirk is the visual feast. It's spectacular, it's amazing. I could use several other adjectives to describe it. The score is amazing, the sound effects are amazing, the special effects are amazing. One particular scene involving some, oiled soldiers and a down plane is coming towards them that particular scene is amazing. Most people will be holding their breath all throughout this film just to see how this thing ends. Of course, we actually know how this film ends. So I'm going to say here, folks, Dunkirk might be the best film of the summer. I'm giving this a super awesome rating. I think it might be a battle between first and second place of the best films of the year, between this and Logan, for who wins out for best film of the year, folks, for me. So, folks, in the end, did you happen to like Dunkirk? Or are you going against the grain, not actually liking this film? Tell me, what is your favorite World War II film in recent years? How would you rate the Christopher Nolan films, and if you could? As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, and enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks. See you later.